We'll just move right into just moving. We'll start on our hands and our feet. So, hands and feet. We can start on the knees and the hands, and just setting up the base so that when we tuck the toes and lift the knees, we kind of come up into a good place. So I like to have my wrists ahead of my shoulders. I think I've spoke that a few times, and this is because it takes the weight off of the shoulders. If you're directly stacked, it's quite heavy on the wrists. There's quite, it doesn't feel that cool for the wrist. And if you're back here, you have more potential to keep the weight in the butt and in the legs, and also hold the fullness in the heart. There's a lightness that you can achieve in the wrist, so it's not so heavy on the wrists, which is nice. So wrists ahead of the shoulders, push the mat away, hold the fullness of the back of the heart, so whole heart expanding wide on all sides. So when I speak the heart, it's also just like the rib cage, all parts of the rib cage expanding wide. Root the hips back, keep the butt high, lifting up, like tail lifting up. Tuck the toes, lift up, hands and feet. So I kind of pop right up into it. The feet can land as wide as the hips or a little bit wider, sometimes feels nice. Take a bend into the knees, and from this place, root down through the paws. So the toe pads and mounds connected to the ground. A little hug like you're squishing the ground with your feet. Paws press down and out to the side, and then we can begin to extend the back of the leg, sending the butt up into the sky. So we want to keep a bend in the knee, holding the tensegrity in the back line of the leg. Keep the paws pressing down and out to the side, and the knees can resist externally, energetically. So like the knees line up with the ankles, but there's this isometric resistance outwards. The butt is high and wide, the heart is full, press the mat away. And we'll just pulse forward and back here a couple of times. So the hips root back and the heart pulls forward, holding the spaciousness of the rib cage. And we're like trying to achieve this length in the belly. The hips pull back and the heart pulls forward. They're too good, so we have to do one. Externally rotate your right hand to the left, toes and knees twist to the left. Sit your hips towards your heels and then extend, rise up into the left side line. We can imagine ourselves turning into a human rainbow here. This big rising through the left ribs. Rising of the ribs creates this organic cascading right ear to right shoulder. Lift the chin and open the throat. Keep the hips rooting back. Soften the belly. Let's take a big stretch. Reach your left arm forward and long, lengthen and open up that whole side body. One more pulse. Come back through center. Hands and feet. Little shift of your hips side to side. Little waggle of your bum. Make it sweet. Make it serpentine. And also keep the fullness of the back, so we keep pressing the mat away. And then find some stillness, root down. So we connect the feet. Pause, press down and out to the side. And the hips root back wide up and high. The heart is full, press down the ground to broaden the space between the shoulder blades, that full protraction of the shoulder blades. Crown of the head reaches forward as the hips rooting back and wide. Externally rotate the left hand, toes and knees twist to the right. Sit the hips towards the heel, big rise up into your right side body. Hips root back towards the heel, allow the belly to open long towards the right, rise into the right ribs. Bending and extending here, open it up. Keep pressing the ground away with the left hand, left ear to left shoulder, lift the chin out of the throat. Take a big stretch, reach your right arm forward and long, big extension, open up this whole side body. One more pulse. Back through center. Take the eyes forward, maybe shorten the stance. We'll take a couple of hops on the spot, pushing the ground away, super strong. Eyes forward, hop, land light, hop, push the ground away, open belly, land light. Hop, knees at a 90 degree, pushing strong, eyes forward. One more. Okay, landing down, feet hip distance apart. Take a deep bend into the knees forward and the hips back. Reach the arms forward and wide as you lift up with an open belly. Little wave. Glide the ribs, let the ribs lead the way. So it's like the arms kind of just like follow along in the wind. Okay, find some stillness. So connected into the paws, the toe pads and mounds, more weight is in the front of the foot. And you can almost like feel like your paw is hugging the ground. A little squish in. The knees move forward and you can take your hands to your hips and just gently allow the hips to flip back. So we encourage or allow the groins to hollow just a little bit. It's also nice to take your hands to your bum, grab your bum wide and sit deeper into your seat while picking the bum upwards and wide. So just like opening the pelvic floor. You can take a couple pulses here, the knees bend forward, keep supporting the butt to lift up. Okay. Release your arms forward and wide. Lift the chin and open the throat. The more we press our arms forward, the more we create space between the shoulder blades, so that broadening sensation between the shoulder blades. Sweep your hands back, catching both sides of the skull. The elbows keep hugging forward to hold that spaciousness between the shoulder blades. Press the head into the hand, open the throat. Knees bend forward, hips root back, rise through the center, lift up, open the belly. One or two more. Lifting up, opening into the belly. Last one. Reach your arms back forward and wide. Narrow the heels and begin to bend into the knees. Send your butt back. Keep your heart high. Lift the chin, open throat. Hands can land forward. Little knee knock side to side. Okay. Plant your hands. Step back, hands and feet. A nice solid base here, so the wrists ahead of the shoulders, press down the mat, broaden into the back. Nice big bend into the knees, connect the paws, press down and out to the side, and then send your butt high. And you should hold the pocket in the back of the knee, so we hold a gentle bend in the knee. We have this length in the belly, deep hollows in the groins, the butt is wide and activated. The heart is full, expanding wide on all sides. I'm going to shift the weight into the right side. Left leg, open leg to the side. Keep both hands planted strong. Press down the mat, broaden into the back, and then send the butt up higher. Root and extend your right femur back and wide into the hip socket. Keep pressing the mat away. Hold the fullness in the back of the heart. And then we'll take a little sticky pedal. A little resisted pedal, like you're pulling through cold honey. Keep pressing the mat away. Chin is lifted, heart is full. Find some stillness. Take the eyes over towards the left side of the mat. We're going to step the left foot kind of somewhere close behind the left hand-ish, close-ish. Pivot on the right foot just a little bit. Root the hips back, deep squat, rise all the way up. So we'll take our hands in, we'll take our legs and we'll just focus into them for a second. We're kind of at a little bit of an angle here in a tribal stance. The left foot facing straight and the left heel is bisecting your back right foot. Take a deep bend into the knees, root your bum back. So the butt widens. You can even take your hands here, widen the butt again. Hands horseshoe hold, just cupping the tops of the thighs and begin to pulse extension into both legs. Less is more here. We want to hold the micro bends in the back of the knees and the fullness in the heart. So trying to hold this integrity, this lifted quality of the rib cage, actually of the whole torso. Okay, deep bend. You can just glide your legs side to side, back and forth. And then send your butt back, lifting all the way up. Connect your left hand, a light fist, to the inside edge of your left thigh. If you need more support, horseshoe hold, cup the top of the thigh. Right arm big, sweep up high, and then arcing forward to create a big crescent, a big stretch along your right sideline. Catch behind the head, hug the elbow into the cheek. Bend into the knees, drag your right paw down and back like the energy, like you're taking off for a race. And then lift up, rise into the right ribs. Bend deep, sit back and wide, and then lift into the length, rise up high. Squatting deep, butt back, lift up, rise into the right ribs. Head presses into the hand, open the throat, soften the belly. One more pulse. Keep the energy high, keep the legs strong. And then release, reach the arms forward and wide. We'll take a little pulse to cross ankle, so the right ankle crosses over top of the left thigh. The knee stays narrow. We'll always sit the hips back. Arms press down, lift the ribs high. Sit back, sit wide, butt glides back, arms rise. And then press down to lift the ribs high. One more, glide the hips back wide, arms rise, and then press down to lift up. This time we'll take hands to the base of the thighs. Little light seat, the hips gently behind the heart. Press the thigh down to lift the ribs up, lift the chin and soften the shoulders. If you want a little deeper, you can sit low, root the hips back, hands to the shin. Keep the length in the belly, the lower lumbar in its natural curve, and the fullness of the whole rib cage, widening on all sides. Okay, lift your arms forward, heart high, and we'll step the right foot to the side. Take a sway, glide your ribs. Okay, narrow your heels, arms push forward, deep squat, send the butt back, keep your heart high, lifted chin. Right hand connects to the ground, to the inside edge of your right thigh. Lift the left arm up high and arc up and over. And drop your arm forward of your heart. Roll the chin along the chest through the back. And then other side, connect your left hand, a fist or fingertips to the ground. Big stretch up, rise high. Lifting up, pressing up into the right side. Roll your chin along your chest as you drop the arm forward of the heart. Hands plant down. Eyes forward. Step back, step back. Little shift of your hips side to side. Okay, connect into your base. So strong stance here. Feet wide, about as wide as your hips or as wide as your mat. Nice bend into the knees, paws press down and out to the side. The hips root back wide, up and high. The heart is forward. We push the mat away, hold the fullness in the back of the heart. So it's not like this, and it's not like this. We're back a little bit, and we're holding that spaciousness in the back of the ribs versus a collapsing here. We really want to hold that protraction of the shoulder blades. Hey, shifting the weight into the left side, right leg open, leg to the side. Keep the knee hugging in towards the belly, nice and low, nothing high. Press down the mat, hold the fullness in the back of your heart, and then send your butt up even higher as you take the heart a little bit further back. We really start to feel this rooting of the left femur into the hip socket. Sticky pedal. A resisted pedal. Toes connected. Can you catch that engagement in your right bum? Keep pressing the mat away. Hold the fullness in the back. Lengthen the belly. Okay, take your eyes over towards the right side. Find stillness in the pedal. Right foot lands to the right side of the mat. Pivot on the left. Deep squat. Hips way back. Rise all the way up. Bring your hands to the tops of the thighs. Like horseshoe holds here. And so we've got this sort of stance here. It's a tribal, it's lungy. We can keep our knees bent and our glutes engaged. Hands to the tops of the thighs and just begin to pulse extension into both legs. Keep your toes connected and notice your toes, because when we get stressed, tendency has them twinkling. You're just pulling length gently into, especially the right leg right now, but also extending into the left. You can also grab your bum and widen your cheeks. Okay, and then take your hands nice and low down to the ground and just shift side to side. Okay, coming back up. Right foot straight forward or kind of on this angle here. Left foot angling up to the top left corner of the mat. Take a big bend into the knees and glide your hips back. The right hand, a light fist, can land to the inside edge of your right thigh. If you need more support, just cup the top of the thigh. Deep seat, root the bum back. Big stretch, left arm reaches forward and long, lengthen the whole left side, and then sweep your hand back, catching behind the head. Hug the elbow into the cheek. Dig, drag the left paw down and back, and then reach up and rise into your left side ribs. Sit deep, sit low. Lift up, rise into that arc, stretch it open. Little pulses here. Feeling the openness of the belly. It's the legs, it's the butt that's working here. I'm getting into this big stretch along your left side line. Head presses into the hand. Take one more pulse. Okay. Release your arms forward and wide. Lift the chin and open the throat. Take a little spring into cross ankle. Left ankle over top of right thigh. Keep the fullness in the heart and the length in the belly. Lift up your chin nice and proud. And then glide your hips back. Arms rise. Press down to lift up. Glide the hips back. Sit back. Lift up. One more time. Okay. First stop is going to take their hands to the base of the thighs. We have a light seat here. The hips are gently behind the heart. And we use this connection to the thigh to press down, lift length into the belly. Lift up the chin. Second stop, if you want a little more deep, you can sit lower. Send the butt back, glide it back. Hands to the shin, resist your ribs forward. Hold the fullness in the heart, lift up the chin. Standing leg, gentle bend. One more big full inhale. Exhale, lift your heart up high, arms wide. And then step the foot to the side. Take a big sweat, glide your ribs. Okay. And then deep squat. Hips way back, hands down to the mat. Take a hop. Land back. Pedal your heels. Okay, narrow the knees, come down onto your knees, sit back, and breathe. That's it for this one.